Hey fangirls and boys, this is Natalie and you're watching Whole Lotta Love, and today's video is a get ready with me. In the video I create this eye look which I think is super fun, and I did it using the Afrique palette by Juvia's Place. I also used a bunch of other products in the video which I really enjoyed applying. Also in the video I talk about some of my current favorites, favorites now and just favorites over the past year, things that aren't really beauty related, just more like books and music and just some pop culture stuff that I've been into over the past year and, you know, especially recently and stuff like that. So I talk a little bit about that. Also, I did want to mention I finally got a ring light, so I'm hoping that the lighting in my video is going to be improved. I can't really tell the difference filming, but maybe when I start to edit and just compare it to like previous videos and stuff like that, I'm hoping to see a nice difference. I feel like it's definitely a lot nicer lighting overall when I'm filming. It's not as bright, but I think it's definitely going to give a brighter effect in the video, so I'm really excited about that. Anyway, let me know how the quality looks, if it's looking a little better than maybe some of my previous videos. So anyway, if you're interested in seeing how I got this look and just hearing about some of my non-beauty favorites over the past year, if you're interested in seeing that, then keep on watching. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and get started. I've already done my brows, foundation, I've primed my lids with concealer. I am going to start to dip into my Afrique palette by Juvia's Place. So this is what the palette looks like. I'm gonna go into this one shade here, this electric blue shade. I'm not gonna really say the names of these shades because I'm not really sure how to pronounce a lot of them. So rather than butchering them, I'll just point to the shade. So I'm just going to kind of place this where I would normally place like a transition shade, kind of bring it down a little bit further into the crease. And I'm not applying a ton of product. I really want to keep this sheer in the crease. I'll deepen it up on the inner and outer. And I'm using my Obsessive Compulsive Cosmetics smaller tapered blending brush. And I don't think this brush or this brand really exists anymore. I use this brush a ton, but there's so many brushes like this. I know Casio has one that I really like that's a lot like this. So any smaller tapered blending brush will do the trick. I'm actually also going to use my larger and fluffier blending brush to kind of diffuse this a little bit more. So what is up, everybody? I wanted to kind of do like a little bit of a get ready with me where I just talk a little bit and kind of try to do my makeup, which might be a little tricky for me. I'm not a super technically gifted person where I could do things automatically, but we're gonna try. Yeah, so how's it going? So I wanted to talk a little bit about some stuff I'm into lately aside from makeup, you know, just some things I've been into for the year, just currently and things like that. One of those things is my new hoodie that I got. It's actually cropped, which I'm not crazy about, but I had to get it. It's super soft and it's from the movie The Craft, which I absolutely love. And it says, "We are the weirdos here, mister." Honestly, I'm not even recalling that specific line from the movie too much because I did see it like, I've seen it a million times, but I probably haven't seen it in like several years. It was one of my favorite movies growing up as a teenager. I was a teenager when the movie came out, which definitely ages me. When I bought it at Hot Topic, the girl who was there said, "Oh, I only saw it like 3 years ago." It's probably because she was only a teenager 3 years ago. But it was definitely a 90s movie and I was definitely a teenager when it came out. So yeah, so it's such a cool, I thought it was such a cool movie at the time. These girls were so badass with their style and they were witches. I remember like around that time, maybe before or after, like Wicca kind of got really into trend, and I got a book which I really didn't read because I have that bad habit of not getting through my books, but I kind of bought into that a little bit. But I just remember the girls looked so cool. I remember Neve Campbell was in it and she was really cool after the Scream movies, which is another 90s classic. So I had to get this even though it's cropped. It's just super soft hoodie. Got it at Hot Topic and the graphic is really cool. I just think it's like super fun. So I had to get that. And yeah, so aside from that, in terms of pop culture stuff, I've really been getting into comics and stuff like that. So actually I am going to put some of that same blue shade on my outer and inner corners, and I'm going to pack it up a little more on those. Keep it more like sheared out in the actual crease, and then on the inner and outer I'll have more pigment. So yeah, I've been getting into like comic books a little more lately. I've always been kind of into graphic novels. I was really into one called Shortcomings that came out. I don't know if that was like somewhere like 5-10 years ago, something like that. Yeah, but definitely more than 5 years ago. But I was really into that one when it came out, and I've been kind of getting back into them. I'm digging those like comic book volumes, which is probably like maybe like 5 like small comics enrolled into one. It's not like a full size book, but you kind of get a little more than just like reading one quick story at a time. And I've really been into Snotgirl. I read the first volume. I read like a little more than half of the second. I have this weird thing that if I don't finish it because I don't want it to end, and then I kind of forget about it, which kind of sucks. But Snotgirl is awesome. My husband actually got me last Christmas, which I actually just finished reading because again I put it away because I didn't want to finish it and then I forgot about it for most of the year. The book Seconds, which I believe is by Brian Lee O'Malley. He also worked on writing Snotgirl, and the graphic novel Seconds is his primarily. While he worked with other people on Snotgirl, he primarily was the one who worked on Seconds, which was super duper adorable. I would definitely recommend that. It had a really nice, cute ending. It gets a little dark, but then the ending just kind of resolves everything, and it's really fun and cute. Like the drawings will like melt your heart. They're so awesome. So I just finished that, and I got a new one, and it's called, I think it's called like Shade, the Changing Girl. I usually read Image comics. This is a different one. So I'm kind of excited about that one. That seems kind of cool and weird. I also read the first volume of Saga, which was really fun. I think it'd be really cool if they made a movie out of Saga because it's like, there's like a lot of cool different types of creatures and stuff like that in Saga. So I really enjoyed that, and I have volume 2, so I'll probably pick that one up at some point as well. So you can see this is actually going really well. I am deepening with that same blue shade. I just used really one color shade so far in this look, and I'm just deepening on the inner and outer and just using that OCC smaller tapered blending to do this. I mean, so far so good with the blending on these eyeshadows. I've played with this palette before a little bit, but not a lot. I was really drawn to this color scheme. I think this is like my favorite color scheme for a Juvia's Place palette. I feel like most people really didn't like this palette. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it was a quality issue or just the color scheme. I like it because you have like a few like primary brights in here, but then there's also, you know, like you have like your kind of more standard transition, a little bit of a warmer brown, just this really beautiful like, I don't know, I guess you could say it's like a champagne-y shade. It just has like a lot of like nice colors, but they're a little more muted, and it seems like a little bit more thought out than some of the other Juvia's Place palettes I have, so I'm excited to give this a go, and I feel like this palette is always on sale, so you can get it for like super cheap. And to me, the quality is pretty good. Also, in terms of comics and stuff like that, I do have the Archie volume 1, the one that I think Fiona Staples did some of the artwork. She also did the artwork, some of the artwork in Saga, and I want to read that one too. I do absolutely love Riverdale, the show. It's just so like campy and film noir and such a weird take on the Archie, like, you know, the cheesy pop art of Archie. It's like so opposite, and I think the show is brilliant. I haven't really watched all of season 2, unfortunately. I'll go through that kind of with shows too, where I just get into it and then I just kind of like get into other things and just forget about it and stuff like that. I usually watch a ton of YouTube videos, so my attention span has unfortunately decreased a lot, and I'm not as into just watching TV shows or movies, things that require a little bit more thought, which is super sad. But I told my husband, I'm like, I want to really get back into Riverdale, and I want to get back into it with you because I know he would probably like it too, even though it's ridiculous. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to start it again from the first season, from the beginning. So I'm just blending out the edges a little bit. I am dropping so much shit. Like, I need like a real like desk to film with, but all I have is a teeny tiny little coffee table, so it's too low, so I'm always like bending down, which I hate seeing when I'm editing, and constantly dropping shit. It's like 2019 will be the year where everything gets stepped up. Already got the new ring light, and that's exciting, and everything else is just gonna be the next level because I'm sick of the mediocrity game I've been playing. So this is what I have going so far. I am going to start to cut the crease. I am going to use my First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Bendy Avocado Concealer to do this, and my ColourPop flat concealer brush. So I'm just going to coat the brush, and I am going to start the crease. I'm going to create a spotlight cut crease, so it's kind of going to be almost like a V kind of shape. So I'm going to start like in the center of the lid. So again, because I have hooded eyes, I'm working above the crease. So you can see I'm starting to bring it down. as I get towards my lash line, it's gonna be a little more narrow. So I have cut my creases. As always, that was incredibly trying and difficult, and they might not be perfectly even, but I feel like once I blend everything out, put the like lid shade on top and then blend everything out, it should look pretty cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the shade Angelique here, which is that really pretty champagne-y shade, and I'm going to just coat the concealer with that shade, and I'm gonna use my Vintage Cosmetics Company One for the Money brush to do this. So this is like a really pretty champagne-y foiled kind of shade. And I'm just gonna go over top where I laid down that concealer. So yeah, in terms of like music and stuff for the year and in general, I would say my favorite album for the year was Post Malone's Beerbongs and Bentleys. Is that what it's called? I don't even know what the fuck a beer bong is. Like, if you think about it, what is that? It's a beer, it's a bong. Do you make a bong out of a beer bottle? But that's glass. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that album is really sick. I really enjoyed it. I listened to it a lot this year. Actually, I haven't been listening to it for a while because I don't want to get tired of it or anything like that. I just think it's so fun. Like, it's the Needle Drop, who's a really awesome YouTuber, really funny. He said that it's kind of like, what is it, like pop songs with a trap flavor, and I guess that that's a pretty apt description, because I was actually telling my husband before I heard that, like, and Post Malone is all cool and his music is kind of has like a drugged out feel and like all this kind of stuff, but really underneath, like the songs are like really, really super pop songs. So everything is like really comes together really nicely and, you know, pretty catchy and stuff like that. So he's like a pop star in like, you know, dirty homeless boy clothing. I don't know. I don't know if that's even politically correct to say, but I think he's awesome. And his music is, it is very pop, but it's also very mellow. Like, the production's really nice. You don't need to get high to feel high and feel mellowed out. You just need the music. So that album's really cool. I really like, of course, the song Rockstar, and the song that's after the song Rockstar I really like on the album. It's not called Better Now. I know that's a single. It's a different song that has a similar title. I really like that one. And yeah, every song is really fun. The song Zach and Codeine I really like too. I'm taking shots. Every song is good. Every song on that album is good. So what I'm gonna do is I have coated where I put the concealer down with the champagne-y shade over here, and I'm going to use this shade, which is more of like a deeper cranberry shade. I'm just going to blend out the edges of where I laid down the champagne shade to kind of create that spotlight where the brighter shade really pops out, and just to blend out the edges a little bit. So I'm just gonna put this on either side of where the spotlight cut crease begins and ends over here. I'm using that same smaller tapered blending brush. I also really enjoyed the new Arctic Monkeys album, Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. I'm a huge fan of Arctic Monkeys. I think Alex Turner is like the greatest rock vocalist out right now, and I just love they went in like this like loungy direction. I think it's like a really unique sound for them, because they feel like they always sounded good, but I always felt like they were always kind of really heavily influenced by like whether it be like hipster indie rock of like the 2000s or blues rock or whatever, like stoner rock like Queens of the Stone Age and stuff like that. Like they always had like these influences, but I mean, I guess they have like the lounge music influence on the new album, but I think it's like a pretty unique sound for like a popular rock band to be trying out. And the lyrics are pretty cool. I mean, they're all kind of like a little bit goofy and a little bit personal to Alex Turner, I feel like, in his style of lyrics, but it kind of like really does speak to like the society's like feeling of isolation and things like that. So it's kind of like relatable in like a weird way. So I dig that album a lot. Those are my two favorites. So I'm just gonna go back into the electric blue shade just to kind of try not to like lose that, because I am laying down that more cranberry shade. But I want to definitely keep a lot of the electric blue in the look. So I'm just adding that back in. Too much, too much, too much. I will say that these eyeshadows are blending very, very nicely. So like whenever I lay something down, it seems like it's like I'm putting too much on, or it kind of like it lands in a weird spot. I'm able to kind of manipulate it and move it around the way that I want to. I really am digging this. Even compared to the last first impressions I did. This isn't a first impressions. I have played with this before, but I did a first impressions on the Ace Beaute Flare eyeshadow palette, and that's also a really beautiful color palette that I do want to play around with a little bit more, but I was definitely having some blending issues with that one. And this one, I don't feel like I'm having those issues. So I'm really not sure what the problem with this palette was, especially for like an electric blue shade, which is what I'm primarily using, as opposed to like a neutral brown. These shades, if anything, would be the ones that are a little bit trickier to blend, and everything looks really smooth and really true to color. So I'm really enjoying this. So I'm gonna line my waterline, and I'm gonna use the Shockwave Neon Eyeliner by LA Girl, and this is in the shade Screamin. So this is what I have so far. I'm going to conceal under my eyes and just clean up that edge a little bit, again using the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Avocado Bendy Concealer. That's such a ridiculous name. Like, so many words in a name. I wouldn't usually use this, but this is what I just have on hand. It's a little bit darker than I would like for underneath the under eye. I'm actually really liking this as a primer. That's primarily what I've been using it as for eyeshadow and cutting the crease and stuff. And I'm using my Juno sponge to blend this out. So this is what I have after applying concealer to my under eye. I'm absolutely loving how this is coming out. I think everything is looking really colorful and nicely blended. I think that now that I cleaned that up, that looks really nice. I'm just gonna blend the edges where I put that cranberry shade down just a little bit more, but it definitely looks nice to me anyway. So using an Alamar Cosmetics pencil brush, so this is one of the new brushes that they came out with. There's a trio of them. I have them right here, so I'll show you. I also have the new Alamar Cosmetics palette. I forget what it's called. I'll put the name on the screen. I absolutely love the first one, and the second one looked like a lot of fun too. I haven't tried it yet on my eyes, but I am excited because, again, I absolutely love the first one, and the new one has a pink shade. It just seems really fun and brightly colored, so right up my alley. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to take this pencil brush, and I have this shade over here. So this is like a green shade. It's like a Kelly green matte. So I'm going to put this on my lower lash line. I'm going to try to do like a straight line across my lower lash line, almost like a little bit of a pseudo wing type of thing. Not even a wing, I just want to do a straight line. Like, I don't want to necessarily just go, you know, in that shape along my... See, I want to just kind of... Like here, I'll go on the shape, but towards the outer, I'm just going to go straight instead of hugging my lower lash line. And this brush is really, really nice. Like, it's a pencil brush, but it is like a true pencil brush. Like, it's very, very pointy at the tip, and it's very dense at the tip. So it's like stiff, like it should be. I know those words aren't, it's sounding a little gross, but like, I really like the MAC 219, but I find that that one is a little bit fluffier, and it doesn't really let you do much that's precise. Like, it's good for the lower lash line, but I feel like something like this is a little better for creating a line like what I'm doing now. So that is what I have. I really like how that turned out. I think it's just something fun and different for me to do. I am going to take this look to the uptint level. I'm going to use my Kat Von D tattoo liner in the shade Trooper, and I'm going to just create a typical wing on the upper lash line. I'm not going to do anything too thick or too long or crazy winged out, just a little something. Which is my favorite way to use this liner. So my winged liner is done. I am going to coat my lashes in mascara. I have my fave here, my Butter London Double Decker Lashes Mascara. I am actually going to use lashes today because I got these lashes that I really like. These are by Ace Beaute. I got these when I ordered my Flare palette, and this is in the style Dione. So this is what they look like. They're really, really pretty, and I really like these because they're wispy, but they're a little bit dramatic. So my lashes are on. I really love these lashes. I'm not sure how well they go with the look. I really want to get more into finding not just lashes that look good on my eye shape, but also lashes that look good with specific kind of looks. I haven't really been too into lashes. I have some struggles just in terms of finding lashes that don't overwhelm my eyes, ones that I can have a relative relative amount of ease putting on. So yeah, so these I'm really happy with. I think these are actually, they said that they were kind of being discontinued, which kind of sucks, but I think I'm going to get back on the Ace Beaute website to see if I can get some backups, and if not, if I could find similar ones, because I'm sure, you know, they have probably similar styles with the similar quality. So yeah, I was just applying mascara to my lower lash line. So that is the eyes done. I really like how they came out. I think that this palette performed absolutely beautifully, and you should definitely check it out on Juvia's Place website. They also carry it Ulta. I got mine at Ulta. I feel like they probably are definitely, it's probably definitely on sale. And if not, it's only like, you know, less than 30 bucks. So it's incredible. I love that palette. And the performance was excellent, and especially, you know, kind of trying to do like a little bit of a graphic lower lash line. It didn't really, you know, that wasn't really getting much fallout. I got some fallout with the blue shade, but I was really like packing that on and blending it a lot, so I was applying a lot to my eyes, so it makes sense there was fallout, but it was really easy to clean up. Yeah, like you could see there's a little bit of dustiness in the pan. Again, that doesn't really matter to me, even the shade's a little bit dusty, but that was the only shade I got fallout, but that was just because I was really working that. And the green shade, I think, performed beautifully on the lower lash line. Again, this Alamar Cosmetics brush is awesome. I wish they would sell them individually, because I would buy a whole bunch of these at this point. So I am going to continue on with some blush. I'm going to use one of my favorites. This is Drop of a Hat by ColourPop, this Super Shock Cheek. This one and the shade Prenup are the ones that are just like my holy grail blushes. They're just so easy to use. Especially something that's kind of like a cream blush. See how you just get that like little bit of color on the cheeks? It's just enough, not too much. You don't have to keep building it forever. It's really nice. Just really flattering, at least for my skin tone. It has a little bit of shimmer, but you can't really tell too much on the face. I've had these for a really long time. The eyeshadows, the Super Shock eyeshadows, those kind of dry out pretty quickly, but the cheeks I feel like last forever. So that is blush done, and I'm pretty excited. I have a new shade of the Supreme Frost by Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Snow Glow. I'm really, really obsessed with the Wet Dream one. I'm just gonna apply this to the cheek. And I'm using a Cossetti S140 brush for highlight. And I think I heard you're supposed to like kind of apply these with your fingers, but I find they work pretty nice with a brush. They're not so densely packed that it's impossible to get them on the brush. I think they are loose enough in the pan. Yeah, so this is the shade Snow Glow on my cheeks. This is pretty. It's a little bit like the more fair, less intense cousin of Wet Dream. It's a little less like metallic. It's more just like that like sheer glitteriness, and it's like a little bit more peach. I don't really find it's too pink, at least in the lighting I'm in now. I feel like lighting always changes the look of everything depending where you are, but it's a little bit more of just like a champagne-y, maybe very slightly peach, but mostly champagne. This I think is definitely better for a fairer skin tone than the Wet Dream one, but that one's absolutely gorgeous too. So that's the highlight. I love it. And I'm going to finish off with lips. I have the LA Girl Ultimate Lip Intense Stay Auto Liner, and this is in the shade, it's in the shade, I have no fucking idea what the shade is, so I'll list it somewhere. So I like this because it's retractable and it's very creamy. I feel like LA Girl's products are all really, really nice for the price. So that is the lip liner on. I actually love, I haven't used this in a while. I really do enjoy it. I think it goes on very, very nicely. Very easy to get a nice line on my lips. I didn't fill my lips, but I'm going to use the Nikki's Nude lipstick from MAC. This is the Amplified Cream formula. And this is nice because it's like that perfect peachy nude type of shade that's super flattering. So this is the completed look. I absolutely love how this turned out. I feel like I took a risk with that lower lash line. I think it really paid off, especially because of that brush, and just the formula of the Juvia's Place eyeshadows is very, very solid. I really like it, and I really love the lashes. I definitely gonna check out more lashes from Ace Beaute. And I don't know what the problem with this palette was. I've heard very mixed reviews on this. I actually don't think I've heard anything, you know, really too positive, but I think, you know, especially for the hype that Juvia's Place gets, you don't hear, like, I see them always using other palettes. I've kind of lost track of all the palettes. They have like Warrior 1, Warrior 2, Sahara, and Sahara 2, like I don't even know what's going on. But this one I really, really do love, and I definitely, it is going to inspire me to go into some of my other palettes. I do have the original Sahara, which I kind of never ended up using too much. I definitely want to use that one a little bit more, and the magic one, which is really cool, I have. So I want to kind of play with mine a little bit more. And this one I thought was beautiful. The look I did today, I'm very happy with. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and have a good one. Bye, guys.